Even if the workflow had collapsed decades ago. it's
Young
still-
people don't know what the hell you're talking about.
No, they don't, they don't. I had to, speak with my sister.
Exactly.
And the vice presidency becomes vacant, the speaker of the house doesn't become vice president.
They don't find
Explain that to her.
I.
Yeah.
I can explain that to her.
I only know because,
Hey, Chief.
and I know Nancy Collins. That's how I know. So, yeah, that's how I know. We'll put it on remote. Drive it in. That's a creative. Excuse me.
I know. It don't seem as cool in here as it usually is.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
I would say,
Thank you. What a little Amazon.
I think you're gonna need to have everybody on the
You can actually check your box.
Fine, I just hope that.
Okay, thanks, Chuck.
To them and then, because then I didn't really call, I emailed, yeah, then I'll.
Right.
To discuss.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't need prior to make a decision. Trying to get all of mine, the last week's readers and. Heather. Do you want to sign that so I can give that to Marty?
John found my glasses.
So the.
I'm gonna say the thing you're not gonna like. You did, okay, I was gonna say, we're not wearing them when you came in.
Yeah, I keep them everywhere.
Um,
We gotta learn to do some here.
I think that show.
On page.
We're on the same page.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I said hi, you went by. You were
Oh,
focused.
sorry.
You were singularly focused.
I gotta, yeah, get that gym going. So we had, I put bios up for some of the people.
player that has on its roster a player.
resident. I don't care if it's the same 2, 3 residents that come and cause a problem, you showed up. But you will be respectful. Because whether or not you know this, we do respect you, that's why we're sitting here. So again, I thank all of the residents, I thank the people that show up every second and fourth Wednesday. But understand, whatever you're used to before and how these meetings flow, we're not one of them. So we're gonna move forward. I do not think we can really go through much of our committee reports. Doug, you can. And again, the special part about your report is this website.
Okay.
That display our glamour shot that some of you say. I don't know how professional you would want one to look as you're representing a town, but I would want to make sure I look great. So that when you click on my name, I'm not look like some, I don't look like something you took out of a dumpster. So, I hope you guys enjoy it. I really do. And it's us moving forward and doing the best for the borough with this website. And hopefully you get everything you want out of the website.
And just to be clear, the reason Doug's presentation is, Ms. Hill is just a one-way presentation to the audience. Council going to be deliberating and making decisions on anything.
Are we gonna talk about any of the other committees?
Ultimately, because the agenda was not put to the website, the council cannot deliberate on the items.
Well, can we ask a question? All I wanted to know is what's going on with the, I know Shelley had gotten some calls too, about what's going on with the repaving. Because we were told it was gonna start last week and we haven't heard anything yet.
I mean, the information that I received about the repaving is that it's starting in mid-August.
In
That's
August,
what I just received. Yes, the paving of the roads will start in mid-August.
okay. About, which is shortly before school starts. I thought it was gonna be mid-July. And so Chief, you haven't heard anything yet about any street opening permits or anything for when they do that? Or putting up no parking signs or anything?
No.
It's so far ahead. Okay. Just what I wanted to know so I can let people know. Thank you.
Why would you know?
I would venture to say that maybe a contractor would come in and inquire about closing the streets down and having police permission, so.
Then you would know from us, right, Martin? Right.
That was all of it. The thing as well.
I was just gonna say, I think that. probably
Very
calls my
correct.
attention, but
He's
it's
not
not
doing
that.
actually.
That information you need from.
Get on speaking. Yeah, we can't discuss, I mean,
Well,
I
basically,
just
it's just
want to
a
know-
question, not a debate or anything, like, for example, in the, list, you have something on hiring ground person, secretary and stuff.
we can't speak about it.
Well, let me
We
just
can't-
ask my one question.
That's all.
Can we get a copy of the proposal that, the job description of these three types of people and what you're proposing the rates are? Because I'm just curious about the impact upon the 2024 budget as we go forward. So these were probably already made, but we're not discussing this stuff. I just wanted to get the information.
So the job descriptions are public records.
Right. And so
And-
is the wage rate offer.
What's that?
So it would be the offer of what we're going to pay these people, your proposed wage rate, not what you settle on, but what you're offering. Like, for example, we need somebody to do this job, we're gonna pay $20 an hour. We need somebody to do that job, we're gonna pay $35. And you put it out there to see what people say, and if you find somebody better, you pay them more, or what else. But I was just curious about those, three items, because they are huge numbers that are going to impact the budget going forward.
So the jobs weren't posted. People inquired about the jobs.
Well, I just like to see a job description.
But the job description is public. On the board,
Where would that be? The office?
right outside of the office, right outside of the room.
As soon as you walk
know
in,
all
on
three
the
of those.
bulletin board.
Whatever amount you got. That we're here,
That's my basic question.
give it to the invite those.
No, and I actually, I'm glad you mentioned the jobs. It made me think again. Did you, going back to your original question, did you ever, were you ever able to give her a list of the Morton employees that you had?
No, I didn't do that.
Okay.
I was just curious why you were requesting that.
curiosity was because you are an employer in the community, you're an advocate, you're here always, and just wanted to find out that we were employing people within the
Well, I did
residence.
take care of the cigarette butt problem that you brought out, because what we did was we posted signs in all three buildings. We have to do it, all buildings, just not one.
Mhm.
And then I told people, you screw up, you're gonna lose your job. Sure enough, one person walked out, they threw a freaking cigarette right on the ground, I fired him. I'm just curious what he's going to have to say to his wife and kid. I lost my job over a cigarette, but that's not my problem, because, you know, you set the rules, you break the rules, you're gone.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that you had to fire somebody.
Well.
Like I
that's the
said,
only
in
way
this day and
you
time,
can
people do
Do
need
their
jobs,
job,
right?
They did the job of making sure my property's clean, cigarette butts and stuff, you walk through now, there shouldn't be one there.
I did walk through and I did see improvement already. I have.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Again, I try to help the community. I followed your recommendation to minimize or to eliminate the cigarette butt problem.
Well, hopefully he wasn't a member of the community.
Mr. Hefner, I wanted to be clear that I was the one to ask that, because I wanted to make sure, because when you do business in the boroughs, any municipality, you guarantee the municipality that you will hire so many people from that borough if they meet all your requirements.
Well, we do hire people.
Well, that's what we just wanted to know.
But I'm just curious where the requirement is. I have to hire people from the borough.
Well, I don't know when you started your business in here. When you start business,
1994.
any business that comes into the borough, they guarantee they will hire, say, I will hire 3 full-time if they meet the
Over
requirements
the
of the
years, I
job and
hired
everything.
multiple people to work.
Well, that's
Uh,
what you're
but-
saying. That's what
But
we
again,
wanted
I
to.
didn't know there was a requirement for new
There is a
businesses coming in.
requirement.
What is that ordinance? I'm just curious about that.
I would give you the information. For
Well, I
contract.
appreciate that.
Ultimately, let's get council through their agenda and then we'll have an open discussion.
So Doug, it's back to you.
Okay, so, maybe the, mix up with the agenda was partly my fault. So in IT, when you're building and creating a new website, the usual process is, at 5 o'clock on whatever day, the old site goes down, the new one comes up. About 24 to 40 hours before the website goes live, you're not supposed to make any changes. I probably didn't think about that ahead of time. And I think that's part of why the agenda may not have been up there. So, I apologize if there was a mix up. I will keep that in my information for next time. Well, hopefully the next new website won't be for a long time, but I will show you the new website and we can at least go from there. I'm going to also share my screen with those of you out in Zoom world, if I can. Let's see. Okay.
Say the mobile version looks really good because I was just looking at it.
So as of now, gotta get this out of my way. Get out of here. If you go to the old website, which is Morton Borough, it's mortonpa.org, you will get hit with a little splash screen that I put up. I'm gonna type that right. Get my readers on. Okay, so this is the old address. And you should get this nice little prompt that says, hey, the website has moved. We put the office number on there, but that's about it. A couple of contacts, but really nothing else. So you're prompted to go to the new website, which is here. And this is the new website. I'm trying to do it so that everybody can see it. And most everything is filled out in here. You'll find that, I do want to recommend anybody, feel free to go to the site. If there's something that you want or you recommend on the site, please email myself or the borough office or somebody and say, hey, there's not this on the site. This is a living, breathing thing that's going to be the next 3 or 4 months, especially, it's going to be still under kind of construction. Okay. So we want feedback from the community as far as what you think should be on here. Okay. And we can easily add it. Okay. So, but in general, we've got the government, which brings you to the state and local reps. It brings you to the council, which has our nice pictures and bios in there. Okay, there you go. All right, that's all council. Carl still needs to add his bio, but we'll get that from him later. We do have a history page which talks about Morton. kind of cool there. The departments, it's pretty, it's nice because it's easy to use, which we appreciate. The police and fire will bring you out to, there's a page there, but if you go there, you'll click on the Morton Police Department and the Morton Rutledge Fire Company. They just take you out to a different site because they've actually built their own pages and they look beautiful. I recommended just linking them to our site because I didn't want to take away anything that they had done. The forms, all of the forms here. So the way the forms work are you can download the form, fill it out, and then there's an upload button where you could then upload it right to the Borough Hall. Okay. I mean, to the Borough, office. If you're not familiar with that, you would do the same process. You would download it, fill it out, bring it in, and we'll process it here. Okay. But it is nice. At some point, we want to change it so that when you click on the form, it'll have all the fields there. You fill it out and just click submit. Okay. That's kind of like, round 2 of this site. So all the forms are here. We've even got the hometown heroes and the right to know forms. So we have everything that you need. If there's a form that's missing, please let us know. We can add it here pretty quickly. Okay. And then you have the contact for the Borough Hall. We've also got, if you go to the home page, there is a calendar, which I put a lot of dates on there. Some of them I'm sure that need to be updated, but if you want me to add something, say there's an event going on for the fire company, feel free to send that to me. I'll throw it right on the Google Calendar. Okay. So this goes all the way out to the end of the year, as far as I know. I put the trash dates on there, things like that, things that I had at my disposal right away. Anything you want me to add, please feel free to let me know. Yes.
You just need to change.
What?
Member,
Oh, okay, I will.
just so no one.
Yes.
That specific person.
Will do. Okay. There's all the latest of the borough meetings that'll be here. And I upload those pretty much the day after we have a meeting. You can go here and watch the meeting the night before. And there's a link to the YouTube page where we have all the meetings from this page here on there. Okay. And then here's all of our Facebook feeds that as soon as we post them on Facebook, it's going to launch here and then it'll, filter out through the rest of them. And that's pretty much it. There's a whole bunch of contact stuff here. Again, it's going to need, through a couple iterations of it. We're always going to be working on it. So we hope you like it. We hope you use it. And if there's anything that you're like, hey, that doesn't belong in there, whatever, the misspelling's wrong, please let us know. We're human. We do make mistakes. So please let us know. Okay. And I think that's it. So again, apologize for the mix up, but the website is live and hopefully, we'll be the better for it. Okay. Thank you. Are there any questions about the website in general, or just, do you have anything, or you just want to wait?
Say that the upload function is brilliant. I don't know if I've actually ever seen that on this website. I think that's fantastic. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, I that actually was shocking in a good way. So great job.
Let me try to impress. Okay.
Thanks to Doug for taking this on after so long of trying to get it and not being done. Doug stepped up and said, I'll handle this.
And got it done.
Got it done. I really
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Well, it was a team effort. There were several council members as well as the development team that helped me. So yeah, I do appreciate it. It's nice to see it because I know that everybody has expressed concern about the updating of this and stuff like that. So I think it's a project that has been a long time in the waiting. So I'm glad to see it done. So yeah, thanks.
There's 2 other items on your agenda that you can.
Oh.
discuss.
Yes, just real quick. I think it's the blood drive and the 5K, right?
Yes.
So the blood drive is September, where am I at here? September 17th from 2 to 7 p.m. It's going to be at the Borough Hall. I'm going to put up, I just got sent some social media stuff that I can put up on the site. So I'm going to put that on there soon. And you can sign up for the blood drive. The Morton 5K, the run is live right now. I actually signed up for myself. I was the first person to sign up. So you're able to go and sign up, and we're hoping to have some t-shirts for everybody, so maybe some bananas and water donated by Wawa. But this event is one of those ones that I'm hoping can build on, and it usually pays for itself, if not makes a few dollars for Morton. Last year, if you remember, we made a whopping $16, right? But I'm trying to double that this year. Okay. Yeah, it's it's October 5th at 9 AM. So if you want sign, you can go to runtheday.com and just type in Morton. It'll bring up the race. You can sign up and yeah, tell everybody about it. So hopefully we'll get a good turnout. And the more people we do get to join, the more money the borough will make. Okay, I was thinking about doing a fund, but I think the fundraiser is just going to be, we're raising money for the borough, right? So there you go. So that's I think that, yeah, so I think that's it for tonight for me.
I'll walk fast.
Yeah, it is a 5K run walk. That's fine too.
So Bernice actually does have one item she can discuss on.
Just a reminder to everybody, good evening, everybody.
Yeah, but it's a quick public comment. I'm sorry to interrupt, but it looks like you skipped over a quick public comment, whether by design or by accident.
There's no action items on the agenda tonight. We'll have open discussion in just a minute.
So you know there's like a difference, just so we know that you. Yeah.
Good evening again. All right, just a reminder that the third quarter sewer bills are to be mailed out August the 5th. So get ready. And that ends my report.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move into open discussion. We have a little bit of time, so we're not gonna do the timer. Mr. Lee, you can get up and you can stand there for as long as we can take it, right?
Well, I'm not gonna do a Strom Thurmond who once spoke so like 24 hours and then said it back in 1957. I'm not that articulate, and I don't think anybody really wants to hear me for any real length of time. My name is Michael Lee, 123 West Sylvan Avenue, Morton, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, United States of America. And earlier, the council was interacting with Mr. William Hefner, a business owner here in Morton, whose official residence is in media. That's just for the record, because Mr. Hefner didn't introduce himself, but kind of everything's been kind of thrown off whack tonight. I do agree with you, Madam President, on one thing. Opinions are just that. Opinions not supported by facts, placing evidence. That's a quote from one of my favorite TV characters, Jack McCoy of Law and Order. And but I do have to say, this is not an opinion, it is a fact. And I really can't believe I'm doing this. It's a first for me. Councilor Eager, Councilor Stubbs, I'm really surprised and disappointed that you two fellas went along and voted for the termination of Mr. William Stewart as our borough manager, especially with you, Councilor Stubbs. Practically every meeting you're here, you always refer to him as my brother, and you do that to him. I can't wrap my head around that. And that's what I have to say on that. And I know there are officials, there's an epidemic in our country today at all levels of government, private industries, where there's no real regard for experience. I went through that myself at the post office. I can tell you how many times kids just starting there just for the summer out of high school or college and acted like they should have been the ones in charge. I don't know where they got that from, but more often than not, I tell them, have you got a lot to learn? What I'm saying is this. Okay, Councilor Roberts has 14 years on the council. Councilor Michelle Miller and our former borough council president is 10 years. Between two of them, that's 24 years. Councilor Stubbs has 6 years, and I believe Councilor Eager, you have a total of 4 years. That's 10 years right there. And I'm hoping that the newer members, I hope you're listening to their advice, whether you agree or not. I hope you give it a very serious listen to. There's too much of that in this country today. There's no real respect for experience. I have to admit, if I was down there in Washington or up in Harrisburg, there's plenty down there who've been there, I guess since the start of, almost like since the start of Stone Age. I don't know. All I'm saying is that experience does count. And if you find folks end up being on the council 10 years, 14 years, or even 6 years, that newer members come along, that they would listen to you. It's important to get everybody, everybody deserves respect, and I've probably gone on longer than I should have, and I'm gonna start to ramble. So I'm gonna wrap this up and just say, thank you for listening. Good night. May God bless all.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Mr. Lee, before you step down, just one thing, looking at the agenda, I noticed that you have a resolution, multiple grant application. That was discussed last meeting, and we didn't vote on it, because it wasn't on the agenda last meeting, but this is an emergency item because you cannot apply for this grant unless the resolution is approved tonight. So I'm going to just advise the public, the council will discuss this, they'll discuss whether to have a motion to add to the agenda was on there. In order to comply with the Sunshine Act, Sunshine Act does allow emergency items to be added to the agenda, even if they're not posted. So, the borough is considering applying for a multi grant entrance. Canyon explained to the public last meeting, and council will be considering whether that vote add that to the agenda, and then if they do, they would be considering whether to approve that resolution. Mr. Lee, is there anything that you wanted to say on that issue?
No, but I would like to say one thing. You're not going to vote on anything because it's not on the website. What did the council do in the days before there were websites?
It's a law that was passed in 2021
Okay.
or 22.
Okay, so everyone who's going to speak knows that will be acted on. Yes.
Cecilia Todd, 110 Althea Lane, Morton, Pennsylvania. I have just a couple comments, and then I'll bring you up to date on some of the events that are happening in Morton and the fire department, because I'm a member of the fire department. President Miller, thank you for your comments at the beginning of the meeting today. I'm sorry that it was necessary for you and your council members to think that message had to be delivered. It certainly had to be delivered. I have sat on both sides of that fence last year. I acted probably inappropriately about situations that I thought were inappropriate by council members and other people, and took a very firm stand on that. So that hasn't happened since this new council has been in office. Mr. Lee, to your point, we have 3 new members of council, and we have a solicitor that's been on our council for quite a long time. If Mr. Ewald wasn't doing his job, we wouldn't be able to do what we have to do. There are a lot of things that happened over several years with the former borough council, and there's still a lot of stuff that has to be straightened out and fixed and understood. So I appreciate that they're taking a firm stand in attacking situations that they don't see to be appropriate. So I thank you for that. And the experience from the other council members, Doug and Mr. Stubbs, you were entitled to your opinion. For whatever reason, you decided against Mr. Stewart remaining as a borough manager for whatever reasons. They're not privy to me, and they're not privy to a lot of people, but I trust your judgment. I do trust your judgment. And as I trust everybody else's judgment too, because you are here at the will of the residents, and it's important that as a community, we stand together. So I appreciate that. I love the website. I love the website. It's going to be an awesome tool. I file building permits in the state of New York for a living. I got 7 permits returned to me this week, which was a really big achievement. New York State, New York City, North Jersey, and to be able to do what you've applied in this website is a big thing. I copy and paste. I have files this big that go to jurisdictions that get lost and have to do it over again. So I appreciate the time and attention that you put into that. So
Yeah, one quick thing is if you have Adobe Acrobat, that helps.
It does, but we switched to Fox It. And
Oh,
Fox
oh,
It
yeah,
is
yeah,
much
okay.
better. Yes,
Okay.
Fox It is much better. So I just wanted to make
Yeah,
it.
okay.
So with regard to the fire department, I know that the mayor is gonna talk about, our reboot of National Night Out. That's gonna be on Wednesday, August 21st, and it's Touch It Truck with the Morton Police Department and the Morton Rutledge Fire Department. That's from 6 to 8. So I hope anybody that's listening, I hope you all come out to meet our council people, meet our fire department, Touch It Truck, meet the cops. It's gonna be a great event. On Saturday, September 14th, the annual Dan Clement Cornhole Tournament will happen over in Swarthmore at the Triangle. We're looking for sponsors and we're looking for teams. So if you're a business and you want to sponsor the Cornhole Tournament, we'd be happy to talk to you. And if you want to play, let's play. It's so much fun. So get together. On Friday, October 11th at the Rutledge Fire Hall, Drag Queen Bingo.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so mark it on your calendar. It's gonna be a night of fun. It's a show, it's a bingo. It's gonna be a community that's gonna have a lot of fun. So, I hope I didn't go over my welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's try to make sure Doug gets all these things.
Yeah, I was just gonna say too, if you have actual, like, if there are either Facebook event sites for that, or if there's a website where there's more information, because when I put it on the calendar, it just says like, but I can put the link in the description and then they can go to. Okay, cool. Okay. Great.
Mr. Lucia.
Yeah, just one thing, Madam President. A resident on 100 block of Althea Lane asked if there a target date for the speed bumps that we're going to be putting in Althea and or just Althea they're asking about.
So they're not going to put them in until they mobilize for the construction of blah, blah, which, Charles addressed this last meeting, and I can't remember what his, estimate was for when that was, but probably late fall,
So after they get started.
after they get started. Yeah, they have to have the equipment on site to do it.
So the action items, the action items won't come into play until the next meeting, right?
The one action item that's gonna come into.
Well,
play-
you said about that one, but what I'm thinking is we'd be able to take some input at your committee meeting prior to those action items.
Help Mr. Lee, Bill Hefner, 571 South Old Middletown Road, Media, PA. I also have businesses at 1 North, 200 North, 211 Yale, and 217 Yale. Thank you, Michael. So you have a couple questions. Did we ever order the tagging to go under the swing jet for the park? I guess that's a no.
The process.
It's, we have our next new meeting coming up the first Wednesday of next month. And we will,
Excellent, I'm glad to hear we're doing that. And then the other thing too is a while back, they were talking about Portnoy and all these past two people owe money on sewer and rubbish. And I made a proposal to Bernice to say, I'd be happy to work the numbers out so we can collect the money. Because it's not fair for everybody here who pays their taxes to let these scofflaws get away. As I said, I can have work on a Saturday, Sunday. I'd be happy to go through all this stuff, calculate what they owe over the years with the interest rate. And just putting out there to say I'm here to help the borough. Because I am on
Thank you.
the finance and budget committee. And I just want to make sure we try to keep everything within the budget, because last year we ran over by a couple $100,000 according to the auditor report. And I just want to make sure we don't fall into that now and going forward. So it may be a pain in the neck asking these questions like about the wages we're going to be paying all these new hires and how we're going to handle that. And I would assume that's been discussed, but again, as an outsider, I'd like to know. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. The monies last year, it depends on which version you look at it, because that didn't take into consideration some of the COVID monies, for instance.
Well, for example, the COVID money I saw on the financial statement, I pointed out to Bernice We have 267,000, I believe it was on the income statement for 2024. We received that in 23. It shouldn't be an income item on that
No,
financial.
no, but it was money
statement.
that we had that was
Pardon?
not part of, that was not part of the audit.
That's not.
But all I'm saying is that
So,
it's listed on the income statement that we have in QuickBooks right now, and that should be listed as an income in 2023, and then it would be carried forward as a balance sheet item because it's cash on hand, but it's not income, which will then skew how much money we expect to receive, because you're now 260-some thousand short based on our estimates. So I'm just asking, to look
Yeah.
at things, to be
Mr.
more
Heflin,
current,
could you just
deal with
please
the
come to
goals.
committee meeting and discuss it when we're at the meeting?
I'd be happy to do that.
We do all of that.
Yes,
Thank
your
you.
question. Thank you.
Okay, so Chris, this is for you. The Morton Summer Jam will take place this Sunday on top of Jacobs Park. The time is 12:07. Okay. Lots of vendors, food, music, crafts. Morton, well, I should say Chris does this every year for Morton as like a community day. So if you wanna come out and support, it's gonna be there right on top of the park. We like to see people come out and support. It is a form of a community day.
One question, is the borough helping to offset his expenses?
This isn't ours, this is Chris's. It used to-
Okay, I
It's a
just know the
community,
prior
so
year.
no.
So the answer's no.
The
Okay,
answer's
thank you
no.
very much.
I have two questions about two different items. I may ask. But with Chris, had the arrangement been made with the police department at all, if it's necessary? Because I think last year, there was an officer that was brought in that we actually, they were paid, and whether or not there's a necessity for that this time, and that's addressed by Chris.
We're gonna ask the mayor to address that, and one of the things we had talked about, Ms. Miller, was that the police will be on duty already.
Correct.
So we're not bringing a special officer in just for that. They know about the event and they're just making sure.
That is
they
my
get
question.
around. Thank you.
Okay, and then my other question is that we had purchased new lighting for the building. And I believe there's only like 60 days that there was a window of time to get that done, get some bids for the electricians. And has that been taken care of?
The mayor's gonna speak about that. It's your turn.
Or I can say it right now, yeah. That is in the process. We, both Beth Ann and I are picking up where it was left off with the prior borough manager, so it's literally just in the process of trying to get it done.
It was just a time allotment on it. That's why.
We are within the time allotment, so we're good.
Okay, now public comments over, council, because you've got this, multimodal grant resolution that needs to be dealt with today. Right. The first motion would have to be to add it to the agenda. Since the agenda is not posted or to take action on it. Due to the emergency nature of the application and the potential that you would lose funding or lose the opportunity for funding. I would also point out that voting to approve the resolution tonight doesn't bind the township or the borough to spend any money. So it's a de minimis impact. It's only for the purpose of authorizing the staff to file an application, which may or may not be granted, and so it always has the option of turning down the police community. So you'd be looking for a motion to act or add to the agenda.
I make a motion to add to the agenda the resolution for the Morton model grant. I keep forgetting the term on my phone.
Second.
How much is it and what's the matching on it? On the
No match.
No match, and it was up to.
Well, $1.8 million.
Yeah.
For the modernization.
It was 1.8.
He advised that the amount of it is a little over $1.8 million for the modernization of the intersection.
Yeah.
Of Woodland Ave and Morton.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we did a motion in a second.
I'm sorry, but that information is in the packet at the last.
Mhm. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm sorry?
No,
he was saying
I didn't
aye
say
to
aye,
the
so
whole.
I'm sorry, I was the lead.
Okay, so that means that allows you to now have a motion to approve the resolution, authorizing the application to the multimodal grant.
I make a motion to approve the resolution authorized for the multi-modal grant.
A second.
Any discussion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
So it passes unanimously.
All right, before we finish up, I just want to let you know, I received a card last week. It's a thank you for Miss Alicia Nelson. Her mother sent in a little card just expressing her thank you for what we did at the council by giving a letter for her. There's a little note here. I'm not gonna read it, but it is a special thank you to the borough for assisting in that. Do I have a motion to remove? All in favor?
Aye.
Good night.
Yeah, there was a, so. Yeah, because we didn't have the agenda on the new website.
Yeah.
We weren't able to do it, so lesson learned for me for sure. I mean, we had a couple items, but it wasn't crazy night, so.